And we are live. I am here today with Andrew, broadcasting out through Australia, from Australia. And my name is Dr. Ben, and I just want to thank you for joining us today. We're really here to support the next generation of chiropractors that are considering this path, maybe on the path already. But our goal here today, or my intention that I want to set for us, is really just to provide as much transparency into the challenges we've been through and the opportunities that we see as being chiropractors, or the fulfillment that we feel as being chiropractors. So thank you for being on the show with me today, Andrew.
Thank you so much for having me. It's good to be here.
Absolutely. So could we just get started with you sharing a little bit about your background, what you were doing before chiropractic school, why you chose to become a chiropractor?
Yeah, sure. So it's early in the morning here out in Australia, so it's I love these opportunities to reconnect with old chiropractic buddies and sort of tell the story. And basically, I've been a chiropractor now for 7 years, and have had a journey of different opportunities. But how it all began, there's the short story and the long story. The short story is I was a patient. I got amazing results under chiropractic care that really planted the seed of what health is and what it means to be healthy. And that, because of that phenomenal health change within me, I was like, I need to be a part of this. Like I can't not be a part of this. The slightly longer story, I finished high school, went into an science undergrad at university out here, and just wasn't liking it, wasn't really enjoying the path that I was on, wasn't feeling fulfilled, and took some time off, went traveling. Actually, first time I went to the States was back that year in 2007, and came back, and a job popped up at a local chiropractic office as a chiropractic assistant on the front desk. And I thought, I'd had a little bit of chiropractic care in the past, and thought, yeah, I could do that. That sounds like an okay job, and took the job. And that was the first time that I had two things happen. I had a proper assessment and a proper schedule of care, and I went to a chiropractic lay lecture that they do in the office, where they really explained the philosophy of chiropractic, and they explained what health is all about. So the first light bulb moment was in that chiropractic lay lecture, and I'm still really good friends with the chiropractors that started me on my journey today. And then I remember 3 months into my care plan, they did a big re-review, and as a child, I had horrible respiratory issues, asthma, couldn't play sports with my friends, couldn't enjoy life as much as I could, ended up in hospital a few times, was on a whole lot of medications, and obviously they came up in through the course of care, and the first review they said, how's your asthma doing? And I said, oh my gosh, I haven't needed asthma medication, haven't used my inhaler for 3 months. Like, it was the first light bulb moment going, wow, I'm healthier. My body is healing. My body is doing its thing.
Yep.
And that really was just that massive light bulb moment for me to go, I struggled as a child. And now I'm literally throw these out. I don't need those anymore. And that was really I need to be part of this. Transferred straight across into chiropractic school, and yeah, the rest is history.
Sweet. Can you talk a little bit about that transition process into chiropractic school, and just go into it? Obviously, it's unique, being that we're in the US, you're out in Australia. I imagine you went to school in Australia, but
absolutely, yeah. So look, currently in Australia, there's 5 chiropractic colleges. One of them's super brand new, but my chiropractic school that I went to is just the one in our state, our local one. But in Australia, chiropractic is part of a university program. So it's not you do your undergrad, then go to chiropractic school, as is commonly in the States. It's all part of the university program. So I was studying sports science at the time, and thankfully a lot of the classes that you take for sports science in the first couple of years are the same classes you take for chiropractic school. So I already had known a few of the people in the program, already done a few of the had some class credits. So when I transferred and applied, it was smooth and easy to transfer across, because I'd already had some of those credits already in the bag.
Cool.
So it was literally walking across campus to a different part of the school. So it was easy.
Is that common? Is that like how would you say that prospective students view chiropractic as a career path, that are maybe studying exercise science, or just seeing it as an option? Do they look
Yeah.
at it as kind of a, yeah?
Look, it's all, unfortunately, a lot of the schools in Australia, they roll it all into one, that exercise science, sports science, even physiotherapy and PT type courses are in the same sort of vein as chiropractic. It's sort of looked at as just another thing you can do for back pain. You know, this is how we treat these conditions, and it is heavily focused on the science of the biomechanics and the sporting applications. And I think they almost design it that you graduate chiropractic like you're heading down that pain treatment or that sports condition sort of treatment mode. There's no obviously no philosophy, but the pediatric side of things as well, that they just miss out on a lot of those sort of things. So how they almost market it as, we have this cutting edge science background, pain treatment sort of style course for you to do that leads into a career weekend if that's what you're interested in. So unfortunately, a lot of the schools in Australia aren't marketing chiropractic as chiropractic is, and chiropractic should be marketed as, because they exist within the university model. They've got to play by the university rules, and they've got to, they don't have that autonomy to have the curriculum as they should have it, like you do in the private colleges within the States. And that's exactly why this fifth school, the Australian Chiropractic College, was founded and created and started this year because of necessity, because of chiropractors were, I think, getting frustrated with every single year. There's hundreds upon hundreds of new graduates coming out into the profession that just want to treat someone, quote unquote, 6 visits for their back pain, and if they're not better, discharge them or refer them out. They don't have that philosophy backing them up, and that's affecting year after year. There's more of those chiropractors coming out, and we're slowly, unfortunately, losing some of that philosophy because students just aren't getting it at the school.
Yeah, and look, we don't want to sugarcoat the profession as being this like magnificent profession where everything is easy. It's not an easy path to be a true chiropractor and practice chiropractic. But what do you think about a PreCairo program that's being marketed to college students that really aims to contextualize chiropractic for what it is, and align the profession's messaging to prospective students with its original roots, with that philosophy?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because I remember I was at when I was working at that chiro office that I started at as a CA, and I remember then New Zealand College of Chiropractic president and ex Life West president Brian Kelly coming out to do a kind of a prospective sort of talk to prospective chiro students, and really sort of saying, this is what chiropractic is, this is what we do at the New Zealand College, which is amazingly principled and phenomenal. And I was sitting there thinking, well, I'm already at this local college. Why isn't chiropractic all the same? Like, why would I move my entire life to another country when I've got a school, 30 minutes down the road? Because I didn't have that foundation knowledge to sort of go, this is what it is and this is what it's not, and this is what you're going to get at these different schools. So yeah, I think a pre-chiro introduction and a sort of like an on-ramp to complement your studies would be phenomenal. And I know there'd be a whole heap of chiropractors excited about that. I guess one of the challenges is when it depends what school you go to. If you're doing that sort of program and then going to a really mechanistic school, it's almost like they beat that out of you. That there's a few principled sort of students that love chiropractic for what it is, and it's hard to sort of keep that up for the 5 years that you're at the school in that environment. So I think you need to have that pre-chiro, but then be able to then transition that into a really, really good school.
Absolutely. And yeah, the last thing we want is that like sort of bait and switch where we we show them one thing and then they go to his school and it's completely different. And the reality is no matter which school you go to in the entire world, most likely it's not going to be Chirocentric. There will be elements to the program, no doubt, that help you get skilled as a clinician, as a primary care portal of entry doctor. However, you're going to need a supplemental training program that you develop for yourself. And so I think the vision of PreCairo is to establish a supplemental training program early on and plant that seed in the mind of a young student that, hey, even when I go to chiropractic school, I'm going to need to continue this same training that I'm working on right now. So giving them that expectation that, hey, school is going to be what it's going to be, fully transparent, that it's basically like medical school or it's like a physiotherapy program. However, there is a supplemental program that exists out there that you can follow on your own that's going to get you prepared for the real world. And I think that somebody will feel a lot more supported as they go through chiropractic school. So that's really the vision of what we're here, what we're trying to do is bring context to what chiropractic is, because I think there's a lot of high school students, a lot of people transitioning careers that have already done a whole career and are looking for something that's more purpose fulfilling, you know, that's going to give them a sense of fulfillment in life.
Yeah.
Can you speak a little bit about your path within chiropractic education? I think that you definitely didn't take the same path that most students take. So can you speak a little bit about how you kind of navigated the program and then some of the highlights to your experience becoming a chiropractor?
I feel because my origin story to becoming a student and starting my studies was so big vision, like it was so fired up because of my amazing health results and what I saw then every day with other practice members that came to the office to get adjusted. I thought, wow, this is so amazing. I just need to be a part of this profession. But then I entered chiropractic school and was like, oh, this isn't kind of what I thought it'd be. Like, this isn't, why is no one talking about green books? Why is no one talking about philosophy? Why is no one saying the name Palmer? Like, why are these basic things that I thought was just normal for everyone? So I sort of came in really on this big high and then sort of had to go, oh, let's take a step back and navigate this tricky waters of chiro school. But still, thankfully, was working all through my studies with chiropractors and was really fortunate to have them, you know, sponsor me to go to seminars and amazing philosophy events. Mm-hmm. So that really stoked the fire that kept me going through my studies, which led me to get involved with more events and just run more events. Like, we started running, you know, student philosophy nights at school. And I remember one of the chiropractors working at the time, he pulled me aside one day. He's like, "Hey, Andrew, you know, come to this big seminar and across the other side of the country, you know, in a few weeks." I said, "Yeah, let's looking forward to it. Thanks for taking me." He said, "Cool. Have you heard of Talk the Tick?" And I'm like, "No, what's that?" He's like, "Well, basically, Talk the Tick is it's a student public speaking competition where you've got 5-10 minutes on stage to talk about chiropractic like you're talking to a lay audience." Mm-hmm. I said, "Okay, that sounds fun." He's like, "Cool, you're doing it." I'm like, "What now?" He's like, "Yeah, put your name in the hat. You're doing it. You're up against all these other students, and it's in 2 weeks. So let's get this talk happening." I'm like, "Okay." Mm-hmm. So went to this seminar, did this public speaking student competition, did really well, and then was invited to come to the States to do it. And then went to the States, thankfully, and was up against all these other amazing chiropractors. So, like, a few things happened. I got exposed to a different element of chiropractic, the communication aspect, because of fortunately being sponsored and helped out with all these amazing chiropractors, but also got to go to America and see how the Americans do it, how the students from other principled colleges are doing it. And that was really cool to connect with those guys. Mm-hmm. And that in turn then fired me up to go, I need to do more to help the students now. Because I graduated and then started, working as a chiropractor with a certain level of, knowledge and understanding of the profession, the philosophy and the art of communicating and those sorts of things. But the vast majority don't, because they're just not getting it at school or because they're not getting from these other supplemental programs. And that really inspired me to do more and be more. And I love that chiropractic has this like pay it forward mentality. A lot of us got to where we are because other chiropractors helped us get there. They from, sponsoring us to a seminar to just buying us a drink at the bar afterwards. Like anything as big or small as that.
Yep.
We love helping out other chiropractors or students become better chiropractors with the understanding, even the unspoken understanding, that we'll all pay it forward and do it more. And I love that attitude. And that's why I've wanted to do more and help more and get connected with not just students all the way around the world, but just even the local guys down the road. And I'm currently, working. I'm out in the country town, about 400 miles east in the desert, of the local sort of city in the local Chiro school. So a lot of the work we're doing is as you can appreciate with the current times with closures and that sort of thing, everything's online and Zoom and that sort of thing. But I think there's opportunities to help each other out and to do more to help, support and complement the stuff that you're getting at school, regardless of what school you're going to. But there's always a little bit more we can all be doing to help each other out.
If you were to share a message directly with a prospective student thinking of going into healthcare, not sure the right direction, how would you help differentiate chiropractic, and why would you recommend this profession? Like, who is this profession really for?
Yeah. I was reflecting on some of like BJ Barmer's quotes, and he's talking about he's working to get sick people well and to get well people from getting sick. Like he's the origin of the profession has started from a different attitude of health than what Western medicine is providing. And I think we live in a society now where a lot of people are really waking up to that, and especially we'll leave COVID off the table for the time being, but people are realizing that we have an immune system and we have a body that self-heals and self-regulates, and we have everything in ourselves to be healthy and live an extraordinary on-purpose life. The only thing getting in the way of that is literally what's in the way, what's interfering with that system. So I love that chiropractic speaks to the people that love health, love vitality, love living a fired up on-purpose life where they achieve their dreams, or they live like 100% full out. Like this is not I want to be mediocre. This is I want the best and the most optimal expression of life. And I think that speaks to a lot of people across every single discipline in life, that whether you choose to enter chiropractic for your own health or to help in the service of others, but that's a big thing. It's you've got to have that heart and that loving service and that desire to change the world, because we really need it right now. We've needed it since 1895. We've needed it before then, and we're going to always need that. We need the healers and the game changers and the problem solvers that go, there are big problems in today in not just healthcare, but every aspect of life. And there are opportunities for us to be that calm in the storm, to calm people's literal storms in the nervous system, to bring that peace and that ease and that healing back to them. But for the potential future students out there, like, this is the most fun profession you'll have, because you can, on one hand, be amazingly professional and connect deeply with people on the things that are the deepest issues to them, and on the next hand, it can be super goofy with a little kiddo in the next room. Like it's so much fun. There's so much variety and variability to it, but you've got to come into this with a loving heart of service. Like if you're, and people can sort of smell when you're not authentic and not genuine, and that's what I love about this profession. Like every single person I've connected with that I really admire and respect is exactly that. They just love what they do. They come from a place of loving service, and importantly, they know their why. They know this is why they want to do it for whatever reasons. Then it gets them out of bed in the morning. It keeps them going late at night. It fulfills them and keeps them pushing through, because you're right. Like it's not easy. It doesn't matter what school you go to. It doesn't matter how you practice. Life has stresses. Life has challenges. What separates you is if you wake up going, I feel so fulfilled because I know that I'm going into the office, I'm making a difference, I'm laying hands on someone, I'm bringing ease to their system, and 100% making a positive impact in their life that can potentially change the course of their life, like that'll keep people going longer than people that are in it for the job or in it for the money or in it for the prestige and fame or in it for the status title or in it for the third yacht that they can buy, you know?
Yeah.
I'd do this even if I wasn't getting paid for it. This is just, it's more than a job. It's a calling in life.
Yeah.
And not every single PreCairo student needs to be on fire, but there are so many opportunities out there to really connect with people. And if there's something tugging at a heartstring and you're going, I feel this call to something greater, I feel a call to help more people, I feel a call to change the direction of this world that we're living in. This is a place where chiropractors around the world will say with open arms, welcome, you know, come run with us, come work with us, and let's change the world together. So
if an Australian student came to you, which specific resources would you point them in the direction of within Australia?
Yeah.
Or would you connect them to New Zealand? How would you help support them?
The first thing is finding out where they live and giving them a list of really amazing chiropractors in their area that they can go and shadow for a day or two or a week or however long.
Yep.
Because that's where it starts. Like there's the biggest tragedy, not the biggest, one of the biggest tragedies at so many chiropractic schools is you have students about to graduate that have never seen the inside of chiropractic office, that have never had an adjustment outside of their students or one of their, you know, teachers at school. They've never experienced chiropractic outside of that university model. And that's, yeah, right. And there's so many students, and there's people I've mentored over the years that have this idea that everything that's taught at a university model is a true reflection of the real world, where it's not, and it can't be. Like in a student clinic, you can't spend 90 minutes with a new patient and half an hour, 30 minutes with every single follow-up patient. That's not a way to do things,
Yeah.
Or it is for some, just not really anyone I know. Like, so the first thing, get connected with amazing chiropractors that are already in your area, that are down the road, that are next door, that you have never heard of, but are phenomenally changing the world. Secondly is find your school. And this is why I'm so excited for the new Australian Chiropractic College, which it's interesting. I was speaking at a seminar a few years ago, just across country, and I went on stage and I was talking about, it was sort of like a call to arms to all the chiropractors to sort of rise up and help more students out, saying, we've got these schools currently that aren't really supporting students as well, and this is what we need to do, and we need, unless we build a school, build a brand new chiropractic school, this is what we need to do. And I had a call the next week. I said, "Hey Andrew, great talk. I just want to chat to you about it." I said, "Oh, yeah, sure." Thinking I'd done something wrong or said the wrong thing. He said, very, very quietly, "Just want you to let you know that, yeah, we're building a school." I'm like, "What's that?" He's like, yeah, everything you spoke about on stage about your frustrations with the current schools and the current status quo, we and a whole bunch of other chiropractors, we've been feeling the same way for a few years, and we're getting it sorted. We're getting it changed." And literally the last 2-3 years they've been working really hard, and this year was the first year they've opened Australia's first principled schools. Chiropractic college. Sorry?
Which city is it in?
It's in Adelaide in South Australia. So which is one of the big cities that didn't currently have a chiropractic college. So I'm over on the West Coast in Perth, which has Murdoch University. Melbourne has RMIT, the Royal Melbourne Institute of Technology. Sydney has Macquarie University. Up in Brisbane, they've got CQU. And now Adelaide has the Australian Chiropractic College, which is phenomenal and is similar to the New Zealand college in its curriculum, which is amazing. And they've had their first group of students start this year with all the challenges. So it's amazing that there is, because before that, if you were a chiropractic patient, or you're the child or the family member of a chiropractor, and you started your life with this philosophy, the options to go to a principled school were New Zealand or America. being or now Barcelona, I guess, but it's nothing local. So this is an amazing opportunity to really, and I'm so excited for the next 5, 10, 20 years to see how this is going to shift the trajectory of not just education, but healthcare in Australia when we get some really fired up chiropractors entering the profession and tipping the balance a little bit more.
I know we can't use exact metrics. However, could you try and guess how many sort of principled chiropractors there are within the makeup of the entire body of chiropractors in Australia, and what you project it out to be, given this new school is going to be creating Australian chiropractors?
We've got probably 5,500, 6,000 chiropractors in Australia with a population of 25 million. So it's, like a tenth of what you guys are, if not, smaller, what you guys are dealing with. I think it's not as black and white as straight and mixer and that sort of thing. But for even a few years ago when these big seminars were running, we'd get 700-800 chiropractors to the big philosophy-based seminars. So it's probably 20%, 30% maybe. It's the minority, absolutely. For a few reasons. These old school chiropractors that have been doing it for 30, 40 years are starting to, to retire their adjusting forms and they've done their time. But also, every single school's just pumping out more students with a different philosophy than what many of us would like. So it's just a diluting the pool sort of situation. So look, I think that'd be probably maybe 1,500, 2,000, if that, really like on fire sort of principal chiropractors, just from a rough estimate, I guess, just from what I've seen at seminars, who I see interacting with groups online, that sort of thing.
Most likely that 1,500 to 2,000 body of chiropractors spread out all over Australia can support a huge influx of prospective students, though, wouldn't you say?
In a mentoring sort of way,
or just an exposure to the profession.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So,
and I've never seen a chiropractor that's denied someone to come and shadow them for a couple of days, or go and buy them lunch and chat, or loan them a book to read. These guys especially are so not just humble, but just so generous in the giving of their time and their and the talents. So there's a whole heap of people that are.
What are some of the organizations that are related to this new Australian Chiropractic College that can reach out and connect with all these different types of offices, all over the country? Is there a network? Are there specific organizations that you would say are going to spearhead this movement to produce better quality chiropractic experiences, better quality chiropractors?
There's look. Just get in contact with the school itself is if there's students contemplating studying chiropractic and you want to connect with these type of people, I think just starting with a school and saying, hey, Australian Chiro College, this is what I want. Who do you recommend I connect with in this part of the world? And we have a few different Facebook groups of mostly Australian chiropractors that all the time we're going, hey, who's in this part, who's in this town, who's in this city, who's in this part of the world that we can send someone to who's going to get the job done really, really well. So we have an amazing network. It's probably not as, I guess, publicized. There's a philosophical Facebook group which pretty much has these chiropractors in it within Australia, plus a bunch of other, Americans and Europeans and that sort of thing. But I think just reaching out to the school is a really good start. If that's
the contact, do you know the contact, like the email or the website or the person?
Yeah. So let me just check it. Dr. Patrick Sim he's the president of the college. But if you were to Google literally Australian Chiropractic College, it's the top link, but
recently.
The contact, even the email is admin@acc.sa.edu.au. That's just their general admin sort of information line that you can email and get more information about the school. But that's probably the best way, short of Googling who's your local chiropractor and knocking on their door. But there's plenty of us around that can help connect people with those that would really help and get you where you need to be. But yeah, if in doubt, contact the school and they can. That's probably the easiest way, with a direct email, to get people started on their journey.
Yeah, I'm imagining within a short period of time we could create an Australian PreCairo community page where students can reach out and get connected. I mean,
yeah,
it'd be difficult. Well, I want to thank you for your perspective, your insights. You're just a chiropractor in practice, and thanks for sharing today. I really think that a lot of students would be interested in this profession if they heard the message that you just shared. And really, I think that it needs to be kind of available as an option, as the first option, not a fallback option, and as something
absolutely.
that's different from physical therapy.
Absolutely, man. You got to go all in with this. You will not be disappointed, and the rewards are massive. So I'm just grateful that I have this opportunity to share my story, and if it helps one person, then it's all worth it. So no, thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, my friend. Thank you, and have a great day in practice today. You are practicing today, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna run to the office in about 10 minutes time, so got a full day.
Sweet. And just real quick, in a minute or two, can you describe the type of practice that you've established for yourself?
Well, that's an interesting story, because currently right now we are. I'll take more than 2 minutes, but this is where I'm currently working. Where I'm currently working wasn't the move to this town wasn't a professional move. My then girlfriend, now wife, she was a high school teacher out here, so I moved to not be in a long distance relationship anymore. I moved out here to be with her, and was just grateful that one of the two chiropractic offices in town, this town of 30,000 people, one of the two offices in town was hiring a chiropractor, and I sort of said, that'll do, let's do it. So look, it's a beautiful office. There is a bit more of a pain treatment, sports sort of focus. So within that, I've tried to create this sort of holistic wellness, tribe of people that I get to take care of. However, in where are we now? September. In 3 months' time, before Christmas, we're moving back to our hometown, and I'll be setting up my own office next year. So where I'm at right now is sort of almost in that sort of holding pattern, transition area where we're about to pull the trigger on the big dream office for next year, where it's going to be an amazing space with whole families and kids and a lot of fun and games, and just really having the conversation with people about how we can help them get them to where they need to be in life and where they want to be in life, and how can we support them, whether they're 2 hours old or they're 99 years old. How can we support them live their best life and live their most optimal life, regardless of where they're at. So that's sort of the dream for next year, that all my spare time is consumed with at the moment. But I'm grateful for the opportunities to work in places that might not be my perceived ideal, because one of two things will happen. I'll either A, learn something new, and learning new things is cool, or B, it'll just reconfirm that my dream and my mission is elsewhere, and that's just fires me up even more. So I've had a few of those experiences over the years, but yeah, the next 3 months is going to be the crucial part to getting the big mission on the road.
Exciting time.
Absolutely.
Way to be in an expanding kind of a body right now in a time like this, right? There's so much traction, and to be focused on expansion and shifting your location is obviously something that requires a lot of adaptation. So just let me know if you have any specific questions. I'm loving that you're changing places, and everybody's really migrating to new spaces right now. So I just want you to know that, what you're doing is right along the lines of the narrative in society right now. People are moving
Absolutely.
for reasons, but that's cool. It's exciting, and I can't wait to see what you do in practice, man. It's very exciting to birth a chiropractic practice. It's very creative.
Absolutely. I can't wait.
Sweet. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining the PreCairo podcast. Chiropractic students, if you want to reach out to Andrew, we'll have a link to him below this video, and then we'll also share a link with the Australian Chiro College and potentially an Australian PreCairo page that just provides a list of resources that are relevant to students in Australia, because we just need to make it super simple and organized for these students. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Sweet. All right.
Sounds good.
Right.